if we have a time when we have the wrong people in office and they want to dominate the people will be able to defend themselves.
It's the right of the American people to, have a means of defense against a tyrannical government.
A standing military force with an overgrown executive will not be safe companions to liberty. Throughout all Europe, the armies kept up under the pretext of defending have enslaved the people. Yes, first we're going to make the case for those who support the idea that U.S. citizens have a right to revolution. There are no less than 6 states with constitutions that contain passages like this. All power is inherent in the people. For the advancement of these ends, they have at all times an inalienable and indefensible right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may deem proper. Old-school gun rights supporters most assuredly want to keep revolution as a viable option. But is it actually a constitutional right implied through the Second Amendment? There's been an evolution of this so-called right of revolution since this country's founding. Like slavery, prohibition, and women's suffrage, the right of revolution has evolved as well. The main difference is, this right has generally been grounded in philosophy, as it has been so rarely tested, but has since been thoroughly solidified through law as a right that does not actually exist. The same states that appear to allow revolutions also contain laws that criminalize revolutions. A person commits an offense if the person knowingly conspires with one or more persons to commit an act intended to overthrow, destroy, or alter the constitutional form of government of this state by force or violence. And in federal law, it's even more straightforward. Treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them, or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. Whoever incites, sets on foot, assists, or engages in any rebellion or insurrection against the authority of the United States shall be fined under this title or imprisoned, not more than 10 years or both. And the Supreme Court laid out this principle quite clearly in 1951, whereby Dennis v. U.S. determined that civilians do not have the right under the Exercise Free Speech, Publication, and Assembly Clause if the exercise involves the creation of a plot to overthrow the government. But what about private militias? Well, according to Presser v. Illinois, the Second Amendment does not prevent the prohibition of private paramilitary organizations. Additionally, most states criminalize paramilitary organizations. These 29 states outright ban them. No body of men other than the organized militia and the armed forces of the United States, except such organizations as may be formed under the provisions of this chapter, shall associate themselves together as a military company in any city or town of this state. And in these 25 states, this is the general rule with paramilitary groups. Any person who teaches or demonstrates to any person the use, application, or making of any firearm, explosive, or incendiary device, who assembles with one or more other persons for the purpose of training or practicing with the intent to unlawfully use the same in furtherance of civil disorder commits a Class 5 felony. So, how do we keep government in check if it's not with our guns? It's the same tool all the most prosperous, stable, and civilized nations use: democracy, the courts, and a free press. It really is that simple.